In this video, I want to talk about how to make progress without setting goals. If you've ever gotten stuck on goal setting, you might have found yourself constantly setting goals and then losing steam to get there. Oftentimes, we think that's about willpower. We think that if we only could have just worked a little bit harder, if only we had more mental toughness, we would have hit our goals. But that type of shame can also hold us back. We beat ourselves up, we think there's something wrong with us, and maybe that we simply just don't have what it takes. What if it was the case that the way you were setting goals was the reason that you were finding difficulty? What if we could learn how to set goals a little bit better so that we set ourselves up for success instead of failure? In this video, I want to talk about how to do just that and a simple way of setting goals that I've found to be massively more productive for myself. To start, let's talk about goal setting. Goal setting is about picking a destination. We want to arrive at this certain end state. Maybe it's $1 million, maybe it's having a house that we purchase, maybe it's a new job that we want. But what about the actual journey of getting to that end state? It's really easy to just think about this desire, this dream that we have, and feel really good when we imagine it, right? We picture that house, we picture that job, and we feel really great as we think about it. But what we're not picturing when we're smiling, thinking about that beautiful future, is the process for actually getting there. Now, a lot of people have probably seen videos about process versus goals, and I think that generally is a good framework, but I actually have a different way of thinking about it that I want to explain to you today. Because the truth is, we have to fall in love with the activities, the ways of getting to that end state if we want to be able to maintain enough inertia and energy to actually getting to our goals. So there's this simple formula that we can almost imagine, which is if the desire to be at the end state is greater than the desire to do the types of activities that will get us to the end state, then we're going to quit somewhere along the way. Basically, if we're not in love with the process of getting somewhere, it's likely the case that as soon as we run into some friction or some difficulty, we're likely to quit before we actually get to that end state, even if we still think it would feel amazing to have the new job, to have the house, to have the bank account, whatever it might be. So goal setting is about the destination. And what we're going to talk about today is about the process or the activities that help us reach that destination. And there's another way to set goals and make progress in such a way that we reach the end state that's not just simply writing down what we want. And for me, that is to think about the change or the transformation that you want to go through in your life that makes the type of outcomes that you're seeking more likely. So the question we really need to ask ourselves is, who would we need to become? What changes would we need to make in our life? How would we grow in such a way that the outcome of the new job, the outcome of the bank account, the outcome of the new relationship, whatever it might be, who would we need to be able to become for that to be a likely outcome? If you think about your life as if it were on a certain trajectory, it's the case that whatever your current trajectory is, that is the likely path that you're going to take into the future. And so we can imagine that right now, barring no change, your future is probably going to look pretty similar to the way it does today. So if you're in a job, yes, you might be slowly moving up or progressing in that job, but 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it's probably the case that you're just going to be doing what you're doing today, maybe just a little bit better. If you're single and you're wanting to be in a relationship, without changing who we are or what activities we're doing, it's probably the case that you're still going to be single a month from now, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, barring any major change. Now, from the perspective of change, what happens if rather than pursuing the same trajectory or being on the same trajectory that we're on, something happens, right? You bump into somebody, which is maybe luck, but maybe you bump into somebody who introduces you to someone who gives you an offer for a job. You bump into somebody who ends up being the new relationship. Some change happened to take you off course, to put you on a new trajectory, which may entail the type of goal that you're looking for. And what that means is that the thing that we can control, if we want to make progress to our goals, is to make change ourselves. How can we make our own changes happen to our life to put us on a better trajectory that makes it more likely that we're going to reach some of the goals that we're aiming towards? So what if instead of designing a goal, we think about what changes we need to make? We think about how we could transform so that the types of goals that we want in our life become a natural byproduct. And this is what I call change-based goals. So we think about our own internal transformation, we think about transformation of the activities we do as a way to start making major progress in our life, and as a way to go from just pursuing this natural trajectory to actually having step function changes up in where we end up. And I find this focus on transformation, this focus on change is great for people who love to grow. It's great for people who have shiny object syndrome. And it's great for people who've had struggles in just incrementally stepping forward towards the goals that they've wanted to achieve. And the reason is because we shift our focus from just thinking about that end state and then seeing how far we are from getting there to start thinking about who are we today and how might we grow or change to raise the level of some of the goals or the outcomes that we arrive at. So my question for you today is, what changes am I interested in making? How can I commit to a new set of activities? Am I going to start writing every day? Am I going to start a new class that's going to teach me finance? Am I going to find a mentor? And by bringing this person into my life and changing who I interact with, the outcomes I'm seeking start to change. How are you going to transform yourself and stay focused on that rather than just daydreaming about the end state? So that's it for today. I hope this video helps spark some ideas for how you might start changing or going through a transformation that's going to lead you to new places. If you would like more videos like this, I'm posting every week, so you can be sure to check out some of the back catalog of other things I've posted. And as always, have an amazing week. I'm happy you're here, and I'll be back very soon. Later.